All right, friends, let's deep dive into the Rivian software. This is production intent Rivian 2.0, RivianOS 2.0. So let's play around with it a little bit and see how it feels. So this is your map view. Immediate changes I can see here. You do have your compass up here, which you can tap to change how you like the view. You can move around with the finger to recenter. You've got your volume immediately there. You also have your feedback, which is very useful to share any information. You also have here your trip preferences. So this is where you can change it to be in 3D mode, display traffic if you want your audio to speak to you when you're navigating somewhere, as well as clearing any of your history. We've got the option there to go into satellite, and then you've got your charging, which I actually really love that they put it down here now. So you can actually turn on and off if you want to show chargers, and then show which ones you want to see, and you can tap around and play with the different options there, which is super nice. Very responsive. I'm not seeing any lag, which is really nice. That brings up, you can tap this, or you can swipe up there. Swiping from the right hand side brings you this panel here where you have vehicle commands, you've got quick controls, you've got your music. You can also move this over finally to the left hand side so it can be closer to the driver. And I know in the pre-production model you were able to like do something like this. Doesn't look like you can do that here. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like that they got rid of that because frankly it didn't work really well. So that's I'm not too worried about that. So that is your map view. You can still come here and search. Let's say we want to go to San Francisco. This will plan out the whole trip. And let's see, it should, find routes. There we go. Beautiful. So now we can look here and see where we are and how many stops we would have to make. 18-hour drive to San Francisco from here in Park City, Utah. Super, I love that. This has moved over here to the left-hand side. So this is Wasim is the owner of this vehicle. Wasim, I stole your vehicle. So let's take a peek here at this here. So we've got the WB, which would be your initials. You can adjust your seat, your steering wheel, which I did. Side mirrors also can be adjusted here, and then you can just save the position. And now everything is moving. Help. Let me move my seat back because it tried to squeeze me. I do like that there's options to calibrate the steering wheel and seats from right here in this menu. If you tap the weather, you've got this really nice new weather menu. So it shows you what the current temperature is, the exterior of the vehicle, the feels like. I mean, you've got all the nerd data here, which is really nice and super responsive. You've got your connectivity here. The R2 is one of the first vehicles out there that supports 5G, and you can see it says 5G. You can control your Wi-Fi networks and your Bluetooth. You got your notifications. You got your vehicle control, so you can just swipe to bring it over or swipe to bring it over. That's very responsive, and it works really quickly. I like it. I'm gonna keep doing this. And then we have the settings, and we'll deep dive into the settings here in a second. And then you've got lock and unlock for the vehicle, so that's really cool. So let's deep dive into the settings. We are sitting in an R2 Performance all-wheel drive Catalina Cove dual motor with the 21-inch dual tungsten or liquid tungsten wheels. It has an 88 kilowatt hour battery. This is a new screen here where it talks about pack health. 100% state of charge. I did not mean to bring up the keyboard. And then, so you've got your state of charge. How do I get rid of the search? Here we go. So state of charge, you've got distance travel, max potential charge rate, and current charge rate, which is really cool. So you'll actually be able to see what you can actually charge up to. You've got your black crater, ebony birch wood interior, active upgrades. It says none at this time, but that is where they would show up. And then assembled in Normal, Illinois. Here you've got your trip A and trip B, so you can reset them. You've got your updates here, which y'all are very familiar with. Right now we're in an unknown version of software. They did that for me on purpose, I'm sure. You got your driver keys, your owner's guide. You've got your autonomy here. So this is where you can come in and enable and disable autonomy. So you've got your lane change on command, exceeding set speed, engage a speed limit, your driver. So if you want to have the map view or the autonomy view, your forward collision warning. This is all very similar if you've ever driven an R1, lane keeping assist, blind spot view, blind spot warning. Why would you not want that on? Smart turn signal, all of that, etc. Cross rear warnings, objects. Okay. Then you've got your displays. Unlike R1, you get only 2 displays here, but you can adjust your brightness. You can also have it set to auto. You can have it set to dark. You can have it set to light. And honestly, this transition from dark to light suffers on R1 a lot, and it's really good here. And then you got your screen cleaning mode. Then you've got your lighting package. So here's where you can come in and select your different lighting packages that will show you colors on the door accents. Then you can enable how bright you want those. You've got your adaptive high beam assist. So reminder that this is something that you only get on R2 Performance, and that's going to be your matrix lights. So that will be adaptive, and it will pretty much ensure that it doesn't blind the oncoming car. Interactive lights, you do have the light bar in the front and back, and then guide lights. Then you've got your access, so pretty much how you access the vehicle, your passive entry, unlock, bird sounds, etc. Mirror and steering wheel, we already kind of did that, but it will show you that you can auto fold your mirrors when it's locked. Side mirrors automatically retract when the vehicle is locked. Yep, okay. And then you've got halo wheel, so you can do natural scrolling or reverse scrolling. Oh, this is like Apple. So does it feel natural to scroll up versus down? Interesting. By the way, natural scrolling is always the right way, but it'll let you do however you want. Then you've got your Bluetooth settings, your Wi-Fi settings. Here's your audio. You've got a basic and pro option. So for those who are not very inclined to do audio or are unfamiliar with how audio systems work, you got your basic here. And then you've got something that you can adjust a little bit more. You got 3D sound. Again, this comes with the performance only. And you got your fade and your dynamic. Then you got your gear guard, live cam, and your alarm, maintenance. So front wheel wiper service, you've got your wheels and tires, show and tell, headlight aiming. That's interesting. I love that there's more stuff in here to do. You got your park brake release, vehicle shipping, calibration settings, units of measurement. You've got your language, data, and legal. So that's all of your settings with your owner's guide here. Here is our music menu. Let's walk through music, because music has got a substantial change. So again, you can plop over wherever you want here this window. Here you got FM, AM radio. Ooh, interesting. AM radio is not available on Rivian R1, if I'm mistaken. So that could be new. I'll have to double check that. And then here is where you can come in and select your different media types. So you've got Bluetooth, Apple Music, Audible, Spotify, Tidal, TuneIn, and you can come to this little icon here to adjust your EQ settings. That's just another really cool way to do that. And of course, you can drag around. So you can have your favorites up here, and then you can have the rest down there, which is really neat. So you can tap Apple Music and it will pull up Apple Music. You got your search. So, you know, if you're familiar with Apple Music, you know how this works. But this design is much more, it's much prettier, honestly, to be frank. Then you got your drive mode. So this is your drive screen. And this is where you can, oops, sorry, I had to move the seat back. This is where you can see your vehicle as well as your gauges and your towing screen. Oops. So this is very responsive. You got your different drive modes. So you got all-purpose, sport, conserve, snow. This is what you get when you get a R2 Performance all-wheel drive. You also get off-road, so you can switch into off-road. I don't have the key with me. Right feels, so you can switch between firm, standard, low, regen, and stability. So those are the options here. You then have your gauges. So you got your battery, your motor temperatures, your tire pressure, your trip odometer, your elevation, and your compass, as well as your towing. So if you're towing, you'll be able, again, if you have an R1, you'll be very familiar with the screen. You've got your cameras. I tell you, these cameras are even higher resolution than before, but you can tap to switch between front and back. You can tap to switch between this view with the left and right camera or this above overhead view. Then here you've got your phone, which you probably are familiar with today, owner's guide, and then your energy screen. We can come in and see your charging. So you have your energy monitor as well as your charging situation. So you can come in here and see how much you've driven and how much the vehicle has taken since it's been parked here. And then, of course, driving. There's also a little plus sign. I don't know what that plus sign means. Show reason apps. Oh, well, does it scroll? No. Okay. I don't know what that plus sign is, but there's a plus sign. And then you have your owner's manual here for software version 2026.20. You couldn't hide it from me, Wasim. You couldn't hide it from me. Model year 2027. Really cool there to see that. And then, of course, you have your HVAC controls here. So you can turn on HVAC. You've got, we can do AC. You know what? It's in show and tell mode. So let's turn that off for a second. And before it goes into, let's go to lighting. I saw it. Where was it? I feel like they've moved stuff around. Maintenance, show and tell. There we go. We'll keep show and tell mode on, but we'll turn this off. Okay. So now we can come in here and do the air conditioning. So we can turn it on. We can do, if you want to do recirculation. I'm going to lower this because I don't want it to get too loud. You do have heated and ventilated seats in the front here. And you have your two different presets that you can save. You've got, I don't know what that is. Face air? Don't know what that means. I don't know what face air means. But, oh, the ventilated seats, guys, are really good. And so you'll be able to control, and if I'm not mistaken, can you split this? I don't know how this works, but that's how the HVAC works. So yeah, you can, it splits into two there, or it's into one in the center. And then you've got your rear AC vents as well. So you can turn those on there, which is really neat. And then you can turn it off, because I don't want to waste the thing. Now, let's look at, I'm going to pick this up, and we're going to come over here and look at the driver display. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit more here. So you guys are familiar with the haptic wheels. This will let you scroll up and down, and it does the volume. You can also press in to stop it, to pause it, or play. From the back, what does it do from the back? I don't know. Okay, sorry. And then on this side, you've got your maps and navigation autonomy view. So you got autonomy, you got maps and navigation by just pressing up and down. If you press set speed, so you'll do two down to set speed, that will engage your autonomy. And then you've got your fan speed here that you can control. And then your temperature. So you can set that temperature down to low. And that's all I'm doing is just pressing to the side. And then when you're here in maps navigation, you can go up and down to select which one you want. And then set speed. So once you do this, you'll double, yeah, adaptive cruise controls aren't available, but you'll double this, and then you'll be able to set the speed with this, which is nice. You do also have these rollers here. Not quite sure what they do yet, but I'm sure we'll find out tomorrow, because future Jose will know what they do. And then over here, you've got wipers for the rear and the front. So you got your turn signals, you got your high beams, all that good stuff. I'm gonna turn the HVAC off. But that was kind of a tour of the RivianOS 2.0. I wanted to show you what that looked like. And it's a huge improvement already in terms of usability and all that. So 10 out of 10.